Good morning, this is your Stat Sensei, Mr. Spensei, and this is the exit ticket on the hypothesis test and confidence interval that we did in our warm up. The scenario was, how do I reach these kids? So I want to go back over it real quickly because we're going to define the parameter and write the condition and write the conclusions for both a hypothesis test and confidence interval. So in our scenario, a common sense media report stated that 46% of the teenagers in the US felt that the television was the most appropriate place for advertising. Post COVID, advertisers believe that this percentage may be lower. The survey uh, of 1,023 teenagers from 42 million across the U.S. found that 173 felt that TV was the most appropriate. Test at the 1% level. All right. Um, so when we ran this test, we ended up getting a p value of approximately zero. And so we rejected the null. Our alternative was that it was less than 46%. So let's go ahead and look at our defining our parameter first. Let P equal the true population proportion of teenagers that believe TV advertisement is most effective. The key thing there is to make sure that you're using the word proportion. All right. So the true population proportion of teenagers believe advertisement is most effective. TV ad is most effective. Well, we said that our p-value was zero. Well, that's less than our alpha 0.01. That's what we have there. Zero is less than our alpha 0.01. So our decision is to reject the null. We have plenty of evidence. So sufficient evidence to suggest a true population proportion of teenagers that believe TV advertisement is the most effective is less than 46%. That less than 46%, that came from right here. That's the restatement of our alternative. So let's break that down real carefully here. True population proportion of teenagers believe TV advertisement is most effective. Guess what? This right here is the parameter that we wrote above. All right, so that came from the parameter that we wrote above, less than 46%. That's our alternative box. That's what our alternative is, less than 46%. Right there, less than 46%, because that's a less than. And then the other thing is when we wrote our decision, p-value less than 0.01, reject the null. That's the first part. P-value is zero, less than 0.01, we reject the null. So there we go with that. The next part was create a 97% confidence interval for the actual proportion. Well, when we did that, this is the proportion we came up with, somewhere between 14.3 and 19.4%. So we are 97% confident that the true population proportion of teenagers that believe TV advertisement is most effective. Guess what? That right there, that's a restatement of our parameter. So important to get that parameter right. Lies within the interval, and this was the interval that we calculated. Okay. All right. And that's all we have for this one. Appreciate you watching. I hope it helped. Please make sure you always take time to write a very strong parameter so that make the problem make sense. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.